We are back, and I am a couple episodes behind on Black Ink Crew New York. So I'm going to combine episodes 7 and 8. So what I'm going to do right now, really quickly, before episode 8 comes on, is do just a quick synopsis of episode 7. So in episode 7, Bae's mom came to America for the very first time, and it's her very first time being in America, meeting Bae's fiance and meeting her grandson. And Bae just so happens to forget to tell her mom that Rob is not Korean, which, I guess that's a big deal in their culture. Her mom would really want for her to marry a Korean guy. Whatever. Mom kind of talks a lot of trash about Rob in Korean. And Bae just kind of she plays translator. She translates the insults incorrectly. And moving on. All right, sorry, I took some notes. So Alex, this is the team building event, and Alex kind of broke up with Donna during the little team building thing where they were throwing hatchets or axes at wood and kind of releasing whatever they were releasing verbally. And he released Donna, and she cooked them a T-bone steak dinner, and all was forgiven. And then they got matching T-bone steak tattoos. Yeah, I'm confused too. All right, moving on. Sky was running around the house naked as per usual. Whatever. Jada pops up and, kind of turns into Ted having this big animosity, like, why do you keep popping up? What's your problem? Blah, blah, blah. She kind of has a breakdown. Donna invited her because she didn't want to be alone. What actually happened is, I may have missed it, but I think Jada ended up getting shot at a block party, and she was really close to death, and one of her cousins is still kind of not in the clear, and so she didn't want to be by herself, so Teddy feels like a complete jackass, hugs it out. Great. All right, and the major event is Toki. Everybody's drinking and in the hot tub, and Toki gets a call from this unknown number, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, it is the guy who molested her throughout her life and caused her a lot of grief and pain. And that guy actually reached out to her, and she kind of clicked out. And then Tati says something to her. Tati's laughing, and she's kind of has misguided anger towards that, and everything goes awry. She gets into it with Donna, and that pretty much sums up episode 7. So let's see what episode 8 is about. Also, before the next episode comes on, I also want to say that Melody did a really stand-up job with being careful and handling Toki with kid gloves, and she kind of gave her space to be mad about the call that she got, and gave her the space to say how she felt. So that was really good, and they just kind of traded their stories of violation, for lack of a better term. So it was a really good scene. Unfortunately, I can't be sure that Toki won't have a similar breakdown throughout the next few episodes, but we'll see. Okay, so we are now entering episode 8, and everyone's just trying to figure out, what happened, what set Toki off, and so Cease comes in, and he was like, Mel and Sky kind of let him know what happened, whatever, and, everybody was saying, they kind of understand, they sympathize. One person even said, that it's kind of like having PTSD, like you got to call and you were re-triggered by an event, you got to call from somebody and it re-triggered you, about that person or something that happened, which is definitely true. We're not going to get into that, but Donna, let me digress. Donna is at the point where if I met her in real life, I'd probably punch that hoe in the face. And I say that because you would think she'd be empathetic, sympathetic, whatever the appropriate term is, for the situation as a woman. But she decided to say, oh, I understand the story, but I still don't think she needs to work here. We don't owe her nothing, blah, 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 blah. And like C's told Donna, and because Donna was saying, oh, she's a liability. She can go off at any moment. And like C said, at one point you were a liability. Like, Donna was volatile. Donna got into fights with every single person that entered the door once upon a time, seasons ago. So I don't know why you would say that. And then coming off the tail end of understanding why she had a breakdown, you really not shit to me after that. So Donna can go. She's off the show in my mind. I don't even want to talk about that whole no more. Unfortunately, I have to because she's, I guess, a main character at this point. All right, moving on. Sky now has to meet with her son, Desaline, I think his name is. I'm going to call him Desi because who feels like saying Desaline? Not me. Sounds like an old lady. Des wanted to meet with her face-to-face, and she was concerned because he's supposed to be away in boot camp for the Army, but he's calling her, he insists on having a face-to-face meeting with her. And so he says after going through boot camp and going through all the strenuous tests that you have to go through to qualify for the armed forces, they determined he has a skin condition, so he's not going to be able to put on his gear, so, he doesn't qualify to go into the Army. So Sky goes, I don't know whether to be happy or sad because she really did want him to go in, which, I guess that was a decent answer. She's handling her son a lot better than she's handled any of the other characters on the show, so I can definitely live with that, even though she gets on my nerves. But, and she was like, okay, so what are you going to do? And he was like, he moved into a house with a couple of his friends, and he's thinking about going to school, but he can't, go to school until next year. I guess he missed, like, application windows or whatever. So, he has a good head on his shoulders, and he has a plan. So I hate to say it, but I'm kind of happy she gave him up for adoption because he is very well-rounded. He's very grounded, and he had a plan, and then he had a backup plan. So that is very good. Good job, young black man. Appreciate it. It's good to see. All right, and Desi also let Sky know that, he wants his brother Genesis and her to get back in good standing because we know they have a very tumultuous relationship because they're the same person with the same personality, in my opinion. So, he wants them to get together. And little does Sky know Genesis is in New York right now, so I'm going to assume Desi's going to set something up, and those two are going to run into each other at some point. Hopefully it's better than the last two times we've been, because if not, it's going to come to blows. It's going to come to a head yet again. And Desi was saying, he definitely needs his family right now. He's going through a lot of things that he hasn't even told anybody yet. So I don't think I can really guess what it would be other than you didn't get into the Army. You're going to school next year. Like, do you have a baby on the way? What else is dire? I don't know. I'm just trying to guess. So, it'll be interesting to see. Like Scott said, she would definitely be interested in talking to Genesis, but she doesn't want to be around the negativity. She's not trying to fight with her son. She doesn't want the guilt trip or none of that. So Sky is being very mature, which is scary considering the source. So, yeah. Bay's mom and Rob are beefing. I would be beefing too if you had 3 adults in that small New York apartment. But that's neither here nor there. There's a language barrier, and the translator, who is Bay, she is asleep with the baby. So there's a language barrier, and then Bay's mom is kind of taking over, throwing away the American food and cooking Korean food, and basically just saying American food is trash and our food is better, and just throwing away food that Rob bought, and hanging up laundry on a makeshift clothesline in the living room. So he's just like, whatever, I gotta go get some air because this ain't working. Okay, so back from yet another commercial break, and C's and Donna are having a little powwow. And like he said last time, things were getting a little bit disrespectful. Like I told you, Toki stand, and either you get over it or nothing happens. So his thing is he's not even mad about Donna having an opinion on Toki. He has an attitude because Donna has sympathy for Jada's situation and wants Jada to get a job, get her job back at the shop, which Toki now holds. And so she has sympathy for Jada's situation. She understands what Jada went through, but she has no regard, no remorse, know anything for Toki's situation just because she's new. And, you know, these shows, they do this whole hazing thing where the new people get treated the worst, I guess. Whatever. So, Donna tells C's, hey, either ultimately she tells him, hey, it's me or Toki. And she's like, do you really want to give me an ultimatum right now? Is that what you want to do? And she's like, yes. After everything I've done for you in this shop, blah, 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 blah. It's either me or Toki. And then she walks towards the entrance. And by the time she can get out the door, he was like, you know what, Donna? I thought about it. And I picked Toki. And she goes, as I thought you would. And walks out. So she'll be back either this season, at some point during this season or next season, because season isn't really the boss. Let's just put that out there. But, yeah. Okay, so now we are back from the commercial break yet again. And Dessalines and, well, Desi, which is Sky's son, Sky's two sons, Dessalines and Genesis, are talking to each other. And I just want to say that it is nice to see that Genesis, it's nice to see him in another facet other than just being angry and mad and pissed off and wanting to fight. It was nice. Like, I'd never seen this dude smile before or anything positive. So it was good that they actually aired that on TV because, you know, we all know that few and far between. But they were, you know, kind of joning on each other, just talking, you know, throwing little jabs at each other and just being brothers. So it was nice to see that also. But, you know, they were just kind of talking about each other, and Desi's asking Genesis, like, how do you feel about mom? Well, how do you feel about everything? And how do you feel about mom? And, excuse me. And it's good to see Genesis, you know, kind of tell about a little bit about his life and his perspective. And, you know, he just kind of feels like Sky went 15 years without, you know, happy birthday, hey, what's up, how y'all doing, anything. And it wasn't like it was they had a closed adoption. It was an open adoption. So she could reach out at any point in time, but she chose not to. So I can't say that Genesis is totally wrong in how he feels because, I mean, if my parents put me up for adoption and I see them and they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars on TV, acting like a fool, doing backflips, always naked on TV, always taking trips, just living your best life, I'd be like, well, geez, I'm just, you know, just something you threw away in the bottom of the closet and never bothered to look back for. I mean, I would definitely feel the same way. So I understand Genesis. But like Desi and Sky said, like, decisions were made. There's nothing you can do about those choices now. There's nothing Sky can do about it now. The only thing they all can do is attempt to fix it. And so Desi is in the hopes that he can be the mediator between the two. And I think so because he's a well-structured young man and he knows how to communicate. And, you know, he thinks before he speaks, you know, kind of unlike his brother and mom, which they fly off emotion and they fly off the handle. So hopefully this powwow works out a lot better than the last few. And, yeah, look forward to seeing it. Okay. Moving on to the next scene with Alex and Donna. And Donna is still talking about this altercation that she had with C's and how dare him pick Toki over me to remain in the shop. Blah, 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 whoop-de-whoop. So she goes one step further and decides, hey, I'm going to do something drastic. I'm going to boycott the shop. Great. Cool. Those are your principles. Do you, sis? But then she goes on to ask Alex, hey, you're my man, with her little deviated septum sounding voice having asshole. Okay, I don't mean call that no. She's a hoe, but I don't mean call it hoe. But she do sound like she got a deviated septum. Everything is real nasally. She goes on to ask Alex, boycott the shop with me. Don't go to work for a few days. So you asked this grown man with probation, a son to take care of, and bills to not go to his job for a couple of days because you decided to give your boss an ultimatum and he made a choice that did not, that was not in your favor. Girl, go sit down and take a nap. So, she has an attitude with Alex yet again. You're my man. You're supposed to support me. You're supposed to, you know, fight the good fight with me. Did you hear how he talked to me and blah, 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 whatever. Donna, you were wrong. Go sit down, take a bath because you look real dirty, and kick rocks with no shoes on. It was actually really cute with Young Bae, her mom, and Rob. So Rob decided, you know, to go back and apologize for being a bit of a jerk to Bae's mom, and then he also decided to take it a step further to learn some Korean, in order to better communicate with her and to cook a traditional Korean meal. I guess it's some type of peace offering. The meal didn't go over well, really wasn't spot on, but, Young Bae's mom actually gave it a shot, which was nice enough. And then, he kind of did some kind of speech in Korean that he learned just to kind of offer to Bae's mom, and she accepted. And then he hugs her, and she busts out with some English. She was like, "Yeah, I forgive you, but don't touch me." So you mean to tell me this lady knew good enough English the whole time? See, she be playing. She be playing the games. Okay, so Toki, you know, Toki comes back to the shop, but prior to that, Ted and Caesar are kind of talking about the Donna incident and the ultimatum. She kind of said to Caesar, and he was like, "Yeah, she's crazy. Her priorities are messed up when she gets her ass done before she gets her bottom row of teeth done." And that just took me out. Just FYI. All right, so Toki comes in and she kind of better explains to everybody, why she freaked out and whatever, and kind of explains like, she feels very vulnerable now that everybody knows her issues or whatever. And as much as the people on Black Ink Crew tap my nerves with their foolishness, this particular storyline seems very real, and the support seemed really authentic. Like they really rallied around her and just listened to what she had to say with open ears, and just offered a lot of support. So that was really good to see from the Black Ink Crew, and outside of their normal bullshit shenanigans that they're always talking about. So that was really good. I just hope Toki can get over her demons, and yeah. All right, so the girls are in the shop just chit-chatting away. Then Sky shows up with Desi, and, they're just talking and shooting the shit or whatever. And Genesis, her son Genesis, walks in. I guess she did not know he was going to be there at all. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. This could go very good or very bad. I'm going to predict that it's going to go fairly well. It's not going to be great. It's not going to be what Sky wants it to be. It's not going to be what Genesis wants it to be. But there's not going to be any major fallouts. That's my prediction. All right, so Genesis is, kind of takes Sky outside away from the girls and Desi, and just kind of has a one-on-one conversation with her and just lets her know, like, I wasn't going to come running to you a year ago like you expected me to, just because you're Sky from Black Ink Crew, you're the superstar, whatever. And he also said, like, I had to become a man before I could even attempt to have a relationship with you. And that was kind of good for him to know that that's what he needed to do, because, maybe looking back on last season and see how he acted on national TV, he kind of realized, like, all right, I'm doing too much right now. So, he kind of apologized and let them know, like, there's some things that they needed to talk out before, he's going to welcome her back with open arms. But it was a really good powwow, and Sky acts like a freaking idiot, but she's a marshmallow on the inside. So, of course, her makeup's running, and she's snotty-nosed and everything else. So that was really good, and it was way overdue. But, again, it had to be in his time, because he still feels how he feels about how long it took her to reach out. But, he respects her decision at this point, and hopefully nothing but good can come of it. All right, so that summed up this episode really nicely. Looks like there's going to be lots of drama next episode. Another new person added to the team that's going to get into it with Kitty. Donna's going to pop in as her best friend Jada does. She's just going to show up and assume people are going to listen to her. Desi's going to confess what's really going on. One of his friends got shot in his apartment. So, Sky's assuming he's living that thug life. And lots more. Lots of good stuff. So, well, not really good stuff, but lots of exciting stuff, I guess, for lack of a better term. Either way, that sums up episodes 7 and 8 of season 7 of Black Ink Crew New York. And I will catch you on the next one.